A hollow-bodied frog is a bait that is so easy to fish. You know, the greatest thing about it is the fact that it's totally weedless. This is a bait you can tie on for a beginner and allow them to just throw it anywhere they want to throw it, put it on braided line, and you're always going to get it back. But the great thing about a hollow-bodied frog is how well it catches bass and catches big ones. Some of the biggest bass that I've caught in tournaments have been on a hollow-bodied frog. It may not look like it, but the fact that you can fish it and cover anywhere, doesn't matter how thick, makes this bait attractive to catch those really big ones because you can put it right where they live. When you put a bait in there, a bass being an opportunistic feeder, something that's in there and easy to get, that's the kind of place you're gonna catch one like that on a hollow-bodied frog. There's no other bait I could have fished right there. Check that out. Even brought a little grass back with it, ate that Terminator walking frog right back in that mat. There isn't anything else, I'm telling you, that I could fish there, especially on top of the water, walking with the action that Terminator walking frog Jr. has. Really, really awesome bait. And like I said, it's efficiency. You know, as a tournament angler myself, it's about being able to make a lot of casts every day without getting hung up. So I can fish this bait where I would stay hung up with other stuff. You know, have to go get the bait loose, just part of it if you're getting hung up. But with this, I can fish it, throw it in there, make a lot of casts, make a lot of presentations without having to go get my bait loose because I'm stuck on something. The walking frog is a great bait. It's a little bit larger profile for times when you want a bigger profile. But this walking frog Jr. is almost just a little bite size. It's really subtle, and that's the great thing about a frog. You're gonna fish it in a lot of places that's really shallow water. And there's times when that smaller size, that more subtle action just does things to draw more strikes than that bigger. You know, it's a full meal for a bass, where this small frog, it's something that if it's in there, in his way, easy to get, he's probably gonna eat it whether he's hungry or not. This is the bluegill color. That's one of my favorites. And for frog fishing, color can be very important at times. But the design, the action, even the body makeup of this frog, that weight being so far towards the rear of the frog really allows for that double VMC hook to be able to penetrate that bass's mouth. The body, super soft. You know, with a frog, it needs to be just the perfect durometer to hold up, but also to not be so stiff that it's not gonna collapse down when that fish strikes. The nice thing about fishing a frog is not only can I do that, I can make a long cast with it, where in shallow water, and this is fairly clear water, a lot of times that long cast is critical. You know, if I'm flipping or pitching, I gotta be fairly close. Sure, I guess I could make a kind of a long pitch back into some of that stuff, but with this frog, I can work the outer edge, I can work back in there, I can work grass, I can work brush, all in one cast, even working it in those open water places. The nice thing about that frog, like I said earlier, is the fact that it's totally weedless. It doesn't matter if it's hard cover, soft cover. If I need to skip it into something, I can do all those things with one bait, one rod and reel, all at one time, you know, so I can make that long cast way back in that stuff and reach a fish that maybe hasn't seen a bait in a while. Those are the kind of fish that you like to get that bait in front of. You know, one thing there we go, that's really awesome about a frog is like that right there. That fish rolled up there, ate it, but I don't have to jerk immediately. Once I saw him eat it, pull it down, then I jerk. But that frog, it's a soft body, hollow-bodied frog, so they'll eat it, they will hold on to it. They don't just run up there, bump it like they will a hard topwater bait, maybe even eat it, but they're gonna blow it out quick. With a hollow-bodied frog, they're gonna run up there, eat that bait, and I've seen it in practice. Man, they'll hold on to it for a long, long time. Man, that VMC hook really got him good too. That's the good part of it. With braided line, they eat that frog. You hit them hard with a good heavy, medium heavy action rod, you're gonna land those fish 9 times out of 10. On a lot of lakes, when the water's up in the springtime, that water can go way back in there. And even though it's shallow, those bass a lot of times will get way back in there just because it's heavy cover. They're less likely to get as much pressure. There's not a lot of things you can fish in there other than a hollow-bodied frog. You can take it, make a long cast way back in that stuff. Even if you throw it over a limb or two, you don't have to worry about it. It's a hollow-bodied frog. It's the most weedless bait on the market, no question about it. You can work it through that tall grass that's out of the water, sticking above the water, a smooth mat on the surface. over brush, through brush, it really doesn't matter. You can fish it through all that stuff.